Hi, my name is George Eagleson, head brewer at Niagara College Teaching Brewery, Dan Patterson campus in the lovely Niagara on the Lake. And see to the back, that's the escarpment right there. The Bruce Trail runs through that little forest there. And so this is where we're situated. This is like, I have the best office. It's like nature. This is it. Anyway, thanks for coming. We just thought we'd, first off, we come and check out our hops. We're getting to harvest season. So hops are flowers, and they grow on something called a bine. B as in, let me see, B as in baseball, I-N-E, not a vine, like grapes, because we also have a vineyard here, because we have a wine program, but grapes grow on a vine. So as they grow, they travel clockwise, and vines, as they grow, they go counterclockwise. Isn't that cool? One of the little things that we learn as brewers. So, yep, like I said, we're coming up to harvest. These are the cones, these are the flowers. You see the beautiful little yellow parts of the flower here. This is where we get our bitterness and the aromas. I like to smash them up, rub it, so I'm taking off my mask safely so I can do some sensory. But this is like the whole cone, the fresh flower. This is where it starts. So pretty awesome that it grows here.
Right in our backyard.
And we put it into our beers. Like one of my favorite beers that we produce is an IPA, and goes into every batch. Goes into the boil for bitterness, aroma, and we also use it for dry hopping. That's what brewers will introduce hops into the beer after it's been fermented, like into one of the primary fermentation tanks, and give it it depends, like 4 or 5 days to sort of impart its flavors more into the beer, and so that's all I know. So it grows, so they grow usually like 10, 15 feet high, and we just started growing hops here. We have grown hops for centuries, like the British brought hops from Europe here, and but a lot of our hops come from the West Coast, United States, BC, Germany, Britain, Czechoslovakia, New Zealand now. They're growing really good varieties in New Zealand, Australia.
So we bring them in from all over.
Yeah, so that's the great thing about the Teaching Brewery, is like we obviously want to support our domestic producers. We do work closely with the hop growers of Ontario, but we also want the students to experience the selection that is out there. So like, I've worked at breweries across the province. We might have 10, 15, 20 different hop varieties. Here we have, I think we have 45 to 50, like more than any other brewery, because it's incredible. Also, we have growers from around the world, like say from the Alsatian region, Germany, France, so near the border. They'll bring trial hops for us to work with. So the students get to work directly with experimental hops. Like, how cool is that? It's pretty awesome. So so it's great that we get, students get to come out here, and I think they do some active talks when they're doing the ingredients class. Adrian Popovitz, he usually comes out and does a talk with them, like in the real lab, or the living lab, as it were. That's all I know. So how about, should we go and walk in and check out the brewery? Hi everybody, George Eagleson, head brewer at Niagara College Teaching Brewery. We're at the brewery now. We just saw the hops, which were beautiful. We're poised to harvest any day now, or next couple weeks, or whatever. Welcome through. We all have our masks on. We're gonna come in here safely, so we'll come over here on our right. We have a keg washer. That's where we, these are vessels that we package beer into, that we can out of. We might send to licensees, or when our tap room is running, we'll throw it out on there. Here's our grain. We have many varieties of grain. Barley. We'll actually go in here. Let's go into this is our raw materials. This is one of the raw materials. When we start mashing in, so this is like the storage area. So we'll prepare the brew house, either the large brew house, which I mainly work on, or the small pilot systems. We'll go out there in a minute, check them out. But yeah, we'll like preheat the tanks, and then we'll come in and already have a prepared recipe. Usually the first 2 terms, students are given like pre-generated recipes, whether from John, or we also do collabs with brewers from around the province. So students will work with sort of key like brewers in the province to develop a recipe. Once the recipe's all made up, we'll come out here and we'll measure things. We have a scale there, we have some buckets, measuring cups. And a lot of what we do as brewers, we love to make beer, but you have to love cleaning, because there's a lot of cleaning. And it makes it easier. What I've learned through my career is just clean as you go. Just like chefs. Mise en place. Have it all organized, prepared, ready to go. Here's the mills over here that we use. Because most of our grain, like our bulk of our base malts are all pre-crushed, pre-milled. But then our specialty, like our darker malts or more exotic malts, are whole, and we'll have to like mill through this 2-roller mill here. So these are our pilot fermenters. We have 20 of them. Bulk grains are over there. There's it's a labeler for our bottles right there. Let's see, crowner. Don't look, that's my waffle maker. Yeah, just basically caustic. We have a cleaning bath because, like I said, a lot of our work is cleaning. So we'll soak them in caustic, some of our parts. This is called a hemocytometer. It's used in blood work in the medical industry, but it's also used for counting cells. So basically, there's yeast in the yeast will tend to settle to the bottom of the tank. So we'll take a sample off, we'll dilute it, some distilled water, and then we'll dye it. We'll put it into the graduated cylinder. We'll add some dimethylene blue, and basically it's here in a jar right here. There's like microbiology, there's engineering, there's botany, there's chemistry, like all facets of engineering. Even like psychology. It's like if you're going to be, this is for teaching brewers to manage breweries. Right. And so there's a lot of there's a whole planning side, working with government, legislation, permits. It's very it's vast, the knowledge that's needed. And so the brewing program is pretty awesome. It shares, teaches all aspects. It's pretty broad in the scope. So these are the pilot fermenters here. We have 20. Just to let you know, pilot brew houses.
So these are for small batch brews?
Yeah, it's like 60 liters. Goes in one of these. So the mash, the grains go in here. We'll preheat the system, put in some base water, and then we'll add the grain. Usually it's 2 to 4 students per system. So the grain goes in here, and then we'll recirculate it to clarify it. We have a sight glass here that sort of shows us how clear the wort will get. And then we'll drop by gravity into this kettle. So say if it's a 5% beer, it'll have about, first worts coming out will be, say 1080, like fairly dense liquid. And so brewers will slowly dilute it to bring it down to a strength that's suitable for fermentation. Within the filler tube, so this is where the beer travels down. This is for CO2. It actually pushes, when we activate that button, pushes carbon dioxide slowly from the bottom, pushes all the air out of the can, which makes it more stabler, flavorful. Oxygen is the enemy of the brewer. So we do our best to minimize it. There, it's activated the button, pushing the CO2, pushing the air out. Activating the second one. Want to take a shot right inside? Oh, I can do another one if you want. Okay. Now I'm going to put the lids on. Just watch out here. Sorry. These are in ozonated water, so they're already previously sanitized. It's like separate two, shake it off. That's not Katy Perry. Who's Shake It Off? It's Taylor Swift, T-Swift, of course. I'm just going to top this can up a bit. There we go. Okay, careful. I'm just going to put the lid on it. I'm going to place it over on the lifter here. Take my hand away and press the green button. Just going to lift up the can. Dies come in. Seal up the lid onto the can. And everything gets packaged. If it's a can, a bottle, a keg, a growler, always gets rinsed afterwards because you don't want to leave any beer residue on it because organisms might like it. Fruit flies, beer flies. See you in the fall. Really looking forward to engaging with everyone, and we're going to have a great time at NC, Teaching Brewery. Whoop, whoop.